Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Cup of Joe with Joe and Joe podcast. I am your host, Joe, and with me, as always, is my wonderful co-host, Joe.
Oh man, Joe, I love Bleach. I love Bleach so much.
It's good, man.
It's like being a 10-year-old.
Alright, there's a lot to go through, so let's just hop right on into it. We start off this episode, Joe, Quincy's, and what they're all about. What are they about? Murder.
And shadows.
Murder and shadows. Yuhaba is talking to Uryu, and he's just like, alright boy, we got to destroy everyone right quick. And even, what's his name, Haschwald, is talking to all the other Sternritters, and he's saying, so the big boss man, he don't want us to dilly-dally. There ain't no time for playing with our food. We're here to do a whole lot of murder and then get the fuck out. Alright? Everyone got that? Good. Break. Go to work. That's interesting. I don't believe it, because something else I'm going to talk about in this episode, there's a whole lot of talking and not a whole lot of murdering, even though there is some murdering in this episode, but we'll get to it. Other thing, Yuhaba has been living in the Shadow Realm this entire time.
God damn it, they even brought in Yu-Gi-Oh!
A fun little thing whenever I see the intro to the opening, Yuhaba, he gives off big Seto Kaiba vibes when he's on that fucking helicopter, doesn't he?
Helicopter.
Yeah.
Man. I never thought we'd see Yuhaba on a helicopter, but he's fucking sick.
Everyone in the streetwear in the opening, it's so tight. It looks so good.
I wish Kubo, I don't know if he did, but he would be a great fashion designer, man. Like, I would buy his clothes. But we get the explanation of kind of where the Sternritters and the Quincy's have been, and Kubo does his best with giving explanations to things, like kind of like rationale. Sometimes he doesn't, sometimes it's just a, hey, you're just going to go with this. But basically, the Sternritters and Quincy's were able to create a shadow realm, like they call it the Shadows, where it's almost like a reflection of the Seirei and the Soul Society, because they feed off Reishi. Again, it was one of those explanations where I'm watching, I'm like, all right, yeah, cool, let's just keep moving. I'm like, I'll buy it.
It's not that important to me. I just want to keep getting on the cool looking shit. So I guess they've just been like feeding off of Reishi and shit like that from the Soul Society while being on like there's a lot of different comparisons
the upside
here.
down.
Yeah, I was gonna say it could be the Shadow Realm, it could be the upside down. It's like a alternate dimension where everything is just darker, which again is just the Shadow Realm with the upside down. But it is at least an explanation for what the I think it's called the Vonderreich, right? Like the actual location. They call it the Vonderreich, or is that like the people?
I thought the Vonderreich was the army.
Yeah.
I forget what the actual name of the place is, but I do remember it looking similar. But I have a question for you, Joe. What do you think about the red sky?
I think it looks really cool. It's reminding me a lot of Waco Mundo, where it's a whole lot of just, you'll see a character and they're just static against like a solid background type of thing. And I don't know, like again, this show looks gorgeous right now, but I'm curious if they're gonna like overuse it. I think it looks great for the time being though.
Yeah, I love the red sky. I think it looks awesome.
Cause it's the perfect, like we said in the last episode where we had the smash cut from like the blue to the red with Bambietta doing the cleavage cleaving. In this one, every building is like blue and covered in what kind of looks like ice, and then you have like the blood red sky going on. So it's a really cool contrast between the two.
Yeah, man, it's pretty cool. And we actually get to see the invasion. We see it all happen, and we get the initial fights starting off.
Yeah, there's a lot of fights, or at least there's a lot of confrontations between these characters. Some of them aren't fighting just yet, but they're about to. So, beginning, you got Shunsui and his lieutenant coming face to face with Haschwald. Then, in the research and development department, you got Miori coming out of his light portal in just the weirdest getup I have seen, and there are quite a few strange getups in this show, with Discount Aizen. You got Toshiro fighting against Basby, and then you got Soifone fighting against some weird cyborg man. So which one do you want to, what do you want to tackle here first, Joe?
Let's talk about Haschwald.
Okay.
Haschwald coming straight for Shunsui because he's now the head captain. And I love the standoff they have. And I also love, oh my goodness, dude, the Keto is so fucking cool.
The way energy looks in the show nowadays, because again, it's been 10 years since we saw it originally, it just looks so much better. The way it glows, the way it hums with energy, it's so nice. And it's like, it's a simple like wall, but I guess it's enough to really like make Hoshwalt pause a little bit, because he's no idiot. Like, you can very clearly tell that he's quite knowledgeable about how powerful some of the Soul Reapers could be, especially the new head captain of the Seirete. I love the detail of him pulling out the sword instead of just like going straight to touch the wall. He's like, no, let me poke this with an inanimate object before I use my fucking hand. I'm like, good, that's smart.
Hoshwalt's fucking badass, and I love how he basically is like, look, man, I know you're the party man, but I was told you're the big guy. I gotta make this quick.
We ain't got no time for dilly-dallying. Whole lot of murder going on. Snip, snap, chop, chop. Something I do have a problem with, though, it's not a minor issue because it's so prevalent in this episode, is the fact that every character feels the need to exposit their motives and their abilities. And it's to the point where I'm like, you don't have to do it. It's like the Kenpachi episode,
yeah. And,
you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's one of those things where I'm not sure. I think Kubo noticed it because when the one Stern Ritter and Mayuri are talking and he picks up about how like smart Mayuri is, he says the line like, oh, thank goodness I didn't explain my abilities.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is a lot of talking, explaining abilities, and really there's not even like that much. I mean, we do get to see new abilities, like we get to see Soifun's new ability, and you know, Toshiro is hanging out with Rangiko and they're working together and everything, but it's pretty intense so far. Freaking
Yeah.
Omaida has to protect his little sister. I was like, if they kill Omaida, not my man.
What is she doing there? Why is she in the Seirete? That's where all the that's the military barracks. Why is this 9-year-old child here? Get out! Go!
Yeah, I can't remember. I think originally there's like they have like a mansion. They're like the rich family. I don't know the details, but literally I was like, if they kill this man off in the first episode, it'd make me emotional. I'm gonna be like, what the fuck? But Soifun, she looks pretty fucking cool.
Soifun does look pretty cool, and she has unlocked the power of airbending, so that's very interesting. I wasn't expecting that.
The airbending looks sick.
It does look pretty cool. I like when she does you have to like the wide shot of her, and it's like, I think it's supposed to look like her tattoo, like the butterfly stuff. I assume that's like the symbol for Soifun, but yeah, I'm interested in that. Also, she's fighting a cyborg, or at least like an android. I don't know what he is, but when he pulled out the Gatling gun, I was like, huh? And even Soifun makes a comment. I thought Quincy's used bows and arrows, and I was like, yeah, Soifun, I'm with you. What's happening? Anyone? Someone? No? Okay.
Yeah, that fight's interesting. Soifun gets bodied by the end of it. Kind of just like Toshiro and Rangiko, like they're working together and it's pretty cool, but very quickly we realize that Bazby is not to be messed with.
No, it kind of does one of those tropes. Your good guys fight him, they take him out pretty handedly, and the animation on his face, it's very clear like he's worried, Bazby that is. He's like, oh crap, I can't deal with this sort of thing. And then you cut away for a little bit and then you come back and he's like, oh, actually, I'm totally fine, baby. And he blasts out and then he reveals, he's like, I can use just one of my fingers to fuck you guys up. And I'm sitting here and I'm just like, oh, okay. So it's going to be the thing where we have to wait and we'll see him slowly start to use all of his fingers. And of course he does that. He does the one finger fire jutsu and then he does the 2-finger fire jutsu. Oh, speaking of 2-finger fire jutsu, when he slashes Toshiro and the other guy comes in, he's like, hey, I gotta take care of him. Number one, it looks like the 2-finger fire jutsu breaks Toshiro's sword. So that's, it's not his Bankai, so like he can repair it with spiritual pressure or whatever. But when Toshiro falls, I don't know if you caught this, his sword is sheathed in his scabbard.
I did not pick up on that.
Yeah, I saw that, I was like, wait, what? So the animators just didn't realize and they just put the sword in the scabbard again.
Oh god, yeah, he gets fucked, man. Rangiko runs off, he gets fucked up, and now it looks like even Mayuri said at the end, like, oh, where did the 2 spiritual pressure, where did they go? And it was Toshiro and Soifun. So I guess that's implying that they're dead,
or at least taken out of the fight, because we do get a little bit of a death scare with Toshiro when Bazby uses the 1 finger. And he blasts a hole through Toshiro, and very quickly you see, like, oh, he's just patched it up with ice. I'm no medical professional, but I guess it'll work for a little bit. I mean, he's a soul. Who's really to say what will work and what won't?
That's a very good point. Yeah, he did some medical on that. And then what else do we have in this? I feel like we really did jump around a lot in this episode.
Yeah, like there wasn't a whole lot of development for any one thing. It was just like, okay, you're seeing Shunsui face off against Hoshwalt. You're seeing Mayori talk to Discount Aizen for a little bit in his weird electric light orchestra get up going on. And then you have Toshiro against Bazby with Rangiku. And Rangiku talks so long explaining what the hell their ability is. And I'm like, Rangiku, don't, you moron, don't tell him what your technique is. It doesn't matter anyway because he's too powerful for them, so whatever. And then you have Soifone fighting the Cyborg Man. So a lot of different battles raging across the Seirete right now. All the people that are more like your main characters between like your Rukia, your Renjis, Byakuya, Uryu, Chad, Orihime, Ichigo, none of them are really featured in the episode, save for 2 bits. Get some Urahara coming in at the very end of the episode, talking to Mayori, trying to get on the Bluetooth speaker with him, being like, hey, figured out a way to give everyone their Bankais back. That's where the episode ends. Are you shitting me? That's what you're saying?
Does it?
Yeah, exactly. And so I looked at the time and I was like, okay, there's got to be something at the end here. And it's still Ichigo just walking through the weird dimensional garden thing, getting to like the next gate. I want to see what happens with him. I really hope we get some development with him these next coming episodes. I don't want to have to sit here for like 6 episodes being like, oh, Ichigo's he's still walking. I don't want that, Joe.
I don't know what's gonna happen. That's all apparently original content. It wasn't that part, like walking through this area, not in the manga. So this is all new for everyone. But I like how Ichibei was kind of like reading the scroll. I'm not familiar with the name he said.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's something we're supposed to recognize. I don't think so. But yeah, it seems like almost like, again, there's like pressure coming down and it looks like the hallway never ends. If I get another end credit scene next time of him just still walking, I'm like, okay, can we finish the walking and maybe do something else here? I get it. You got to build it up and make it like look that he's training. Take some time. It's not just like a snap of the finger, but don't waste my time. I want to see him.
Yeah, I don't think this show is worried about wasting anyone's time. They are just go, 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 go.
It was a really good episode. I'm pumped, setting up some of the fights, and it looks sick. Like, I feel like at the beginning of the episode, kind of what you said, it maybe not just a trope for the fights, but just in general, feels like morale is up. It's like, oh, we're doing pretty good. And then you hear all the Stern Ritters talk, and they're like, yep, we're gonna win. And you get this kind of like uneasy feeling in your stomach, like, yeah, these Stern Ritter guys look kind of tough.
Yeah, like even though Soul Reapers, all the captains have had like their Bankai stolen, and now they're coming back with like new abilities and they're still fighting real hard, Stern Ritters aren't assuaged at all. They're just kind of like, no, we anticipated this. Our leader thought this might happen. And you had that line from Discount Eyes when he's talking to Mayori, and he's like, and if our leader thought this would happen, that means you guys are still on the losing end because we know exactly what's happening. And you're like, this is still gonna be one hell of a fight.
Yeah, no, I love the setup for it, so I can't wait to get into it more next episode.
Yeah, hopefully animation remains top notch. Cut down the exposition, please. I beg. I hope so. But other than that, hope you guys are enjoying Bleach just as much as we are. Of that being said, always remember, we'll love you, we'll leave you, and goodbye.